Man, what just an all-around team win. Just really, really proud of our guys. We felt like to win, from the first play to the last play, we needed to just leave no doubt that we're their most physical team on the field. That was literally our only thought process coming into the game on offense, defense, special teams. And credit to our guys for carrying it out. I think offensively, we knew we'd have to have an efficient game. We did. We ran for 240 yards. Kevin was 14 and 19, 2 touchdowns. I kept thinking they would come up more, but they didn't. But we were able to run it and get the ball on the perimeter. And then, our defense, especially early, man, they were swarming. And that big stop on 4th and 1, and then to scoop and score. And then Roderick Daniels on the punt return. I think we had 3 non-offensive touchdowns and the ball at the 1. So, we got it in this time. So, 28 points generated as a team. That's how you score 66 points against a good football team. So I thought our guys started really fast. I thought that was big. They made a run, got it to 24-21. I thought the sequence of events right before half was huge. The big 3rd down, touchdown pass from Kevin to Jordan Hudson, followed by Ahmad Moses' pick 6, followed by us getting a field goal. That was big, and it just kind of gave us some breathing room going in at the half. So happy for our fan base, happy for our students. Our students were incredible tonight. We set a record for student section. Happy for our players. Everyone in the SMU family deserves to enjoy this win and share in this win. It was a complete team win.
Coach, what do you think on that first fumble? It really seemed to set the tone. What do you think was working for you guys from there on?
I thought we had a good first drive going, and obviously we had to settle for a field goal, but still got on the board first, and then they should have gone for it at midfield. We'd have gone for it on 4th and 1, but first of all, just to stop them, we were going to get great field position, but to get the ball out and for B Cross to scoop and score, I think that just, our guys were ready to play, you could tell, but that just fed the energy. And between that and then we go out and get a 3 and out immediately right after, and then Roderick with the punt return. That was just a big, just 3 plays in a row, field goal, touchdown, and I think we were off and running at that point.
How much does that help the offense when you're up 17
Yeah.
and they haven't scored a touchdown yet?
Yeah, it takes a lot of pressure off. What's weird is we had 1 drive in the first quarter, and we scored 3 points. And then I don't know if it's 7, 8 plays. I don't remember how many it was. And then, and then we get the defensive touchdown, then the punt return. So it kind of hurt to some degree. I'm not trying to complain. We're good with it, but our defense was gassed when they went down, and I think made it 17-7. I can't remember. And so. It was just weird. I think that's why at the end of the game you see the time of possession. We actually caught up, and the plays being like 61-78 because we had 1 drive in the first quarter, but we scored 17 points, so we'll take it.
Coach, what do you think about just you have 1 drive in the first quarter where you scored 3 points, and then if I'm going to tell you you're up 17-0 after the first quarter, you'd be like, am I dreaming? Is this really happening right now? Or what's your reaction to that?
Yeah, I wasn't upset about it, but also understood we have 3 more quarters. We know how explosive they are, and they showed that throughout the game. I think Josh Hoover's a great player. They got those 3 wideouts that are just impressive. We actually, for us to hold Williams in check the way we did, and I don't even see number 7 on here, but obviously Beck's a great player and made plays, and I think 88's McAllister, he made some big plays. So, they got 3 or 4 big-time weapons, and so to get out to a fast start was big, especially with just our guys were ready to play. We felt very confident, but we played the way we did the last game. We weren't really excited about how we performed, and so to get out to a fast start, I think helped kind of erase any doubt in your minds.
What were your thoughts on Kevin's performance and with him being named the starter 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
How did you see the prep that you guys did these past 2 weeks?
Yeah. We worried about us a lot the first week, and not to give you coaching jargon. We, as coaches, we looked at TCU and we introduced it, but we were just more worried about us offensively and the identity we want to have. And we've always made people defend the whole field. We hadn't been doing that, so we tried to get more to that, whether it's vertical and horizontal and running the football. And so I thought he played well. The fumbles, inexcusable. Can't do that. He didn't even get hit. He just lost control of the ball, and that was critical. Gave him 7 points, and at that time, it had 17-14, I believe, and gave all that momentum we had taken back. But then we went right back down and scored and responded. And that's just, that has been the strength of his. If you go all the way back to the Tulane game last year when the first play of the game happened, he just stays the same. And so, look, we're going to have to throw more than 19 times and 137 yards in the future. But if we can run the ball the way we did, play defense, special teams, and be efficient, we'll be all right.
What are your emotions like after the last 2 weeks and this type of a game and all of those things? How do you feel?
I feel very humble just to get a win. You know, it's hard to win. I'm relieved to get a win. You know, football's hard. It's the greatest game there is. I've said it before. It's the greatest team sport. Teaches you so much about life, and unfortunately, if you play it long enough, you're going to have to lose some. We haven't lost a lot lately, and that's good that we're not used to it. But that one stung just because it felt like, you know, we let it get away from us, and then you had to wait 15 days. So, but I'm just humbled to get to be here. I'm humbled to be the coach at SMU. I'm humbled to get to live in Dallas, coach those kids in that locker room. Our fans were incredible today. Like I said, this win is just a great win for our entire SMU family, and the Skillet is here in Dallas, and I'll probably be cooking with cast iron in the morning.
Coach, after a significant win like this one, do you feel the roster is finalized going into conference play?
You know, we obviously wish we were 4-0 right now, but the non-conference, the quote preseason, if you will, I mean, BYU, TCU, two really good Big 12 opponents, going on the road week 1. We're still 3-1. Now we start ACC play with, and I don't know what's happening right now, but I know the talent on the Florida State roster. You know, we finally get to play in the ACC. Yeah, I think we have an idea, offensively, defensively, special teams. Now the thing we've all known, like, it's happening at running back a little bit for us, but like, this was a physical game. We were physical. Well, you know, what time is it right now? You know, it's 8:30. We're second quarter, almost halftime, 7 days from now against Florida State. So we got to get our bodies ready and get back. And so that's going to be the challenge for 8 more weeks. But yeah, I think we know who's in our rotation, probably for the most part everywhere, and hopefully we can stay healthy.
Last time these guys are scheduled to be in Dallas, kind of what was that motivating factor? Do y'all talk about that? Just kind of your thoughts on this rivalry.
We didn't talk about TCU one time this week. So I did the scouting report. We do it on Monday mornings. Usually a coach does it. I usually do this one. Their logo wasn't anywhere in our building this week. Wasn't on our practice scripts. Wasn't even on my call sheet. You know, we knew we had a good opponent, but we knew what we needed to do to win. And so we didn't talk about it. It's the first answer to your question. And I mean, I knew obviously this was the last time they were playing here for a while. I didn't think about it. And now that you asked, I thought about it after the game when I saw Dr. Turner, because, you know, he's retiring. This is his last time as our school president in this rivalry. Was this the 103rd time?
Yeah.
You know, and to win it and score 66 points and force 5 turnovers and all that in front of our home fans for him, that's pretty cool. You know, 30 years, and he deserves that. But we really didn't, and look, we knew as coaches we were playing a really good opponent. They knew it's a big game. I didn't have to tell them. We knew if we took care of the things we needed to do to win the football game, then we'd be okay. You know, we knew defensively we had to swarm to the football, which we did a lot early. We had to limit explosives, which we did early. We didn't late, and they scored a lot of points. We knew offensively we had to value the football, which we did except for one play. We had to make them defend the whole field, and we had to run right at them. And we knew on special teams, we feel like we've been playing really good special teams, but one play every game has been a problem. Like, one of 30-plus plays make you feel differently than like we dominated. And we wanted to make no critical mistakes on teams and make a spark play, and we did. We returned a punt for a touchdown. We didn't turn it over, have any bad field position because of teams. So that's what we focused on, and we just said if we do those things, and we leave no doubt from the first play to the last play who the most physical team is, we're going to win. And I don't think there's any question, anybody that was in the stadium, watched the game on TV, who the most physical team was today.
You played behind a shuffled offensive line since the last game. How quickly into the bye week did you and Coach Justice settle on the 5 that played, and what did you think of their performance?
The Monday after our last game. Yeah. We know the 4 guys who, you know, P.J. Williams, Justin Osborne, Ja'Kai Clark, Logan Parr, if they're healthy, those 4 are going to be in there. We believe in, Andrew Chamblee and Savion Berger, super talented tackles. We believe in Nate Anderson and Ben Sparks. Those guys can play. But we had to have some continuity, just like we did at other spots. And so the only shuffling was we put Logan back at left guard, which is where he played most of the year last year. Ja'Kai was already kind of established at center. We moved J.O. back into guard. And J.O. is the unsung hero of this group. You know, Ja'Kai got hurt. He goes in at center, first play, run power for a touchdown. But guard's his best position. He can play them all. But guard's his best position for the next level. And for us, he was last year a great right guard for us till he had to move out to tackle. we moved PJ to the right side because he's been struggling. You know, he's had some holding penalties. Well, he's got a shoulder harness on his left arm, so felt that would free up his outside arm a little bit. And then, giving you the answer you hopefully wanted, Andrew Chamblee started 8 games at left tackle last year in the SEC. Savion Bird's more comfortable on the left side, so we're going to give them the time to figure that out over there because they're both super talented. And we feel like we can stay healthy, which, you know, week in, week out, who knows, that's going to be the best formula for us. So we made that decision about 13 days ago.
Coach, you defeat TCU this week, and then next week you start ACC play. How would you describe these 2 weeks, and like this much needed change as you enter ACC play?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more fun to prepare this week than it was 2 weeks ago. You know, coming after a win. I mean, after church tomorrow, I got to start worrying about Florida State. So celebrate till then. But you know, this is what we asked for as a school and as a program. We asked for this. You know, I said a week ago that these next 3 games, just TCU, Florida State, Louisville, is going to be the hardest 3 games we've played in 30 years here. You know, but that's what we asked for. So we're going to do our best to take it one game at a time and break it up. You know, the way our schedule works is weird. We got 3 bye weeks because we played week 0 and it's a leap year, so we go 3, 3, 3, 3. So our goal is to win every quarter. And we went 2-1 in the first quarter of our season. We wanted to go 3-0, but we won the quarter. We're 1-0 now in the second quarter. And that's our goal. We're just trying to break it up that way. I mean, don't get me wrong, we want to win every week, but the grind that's in front of us is real. But hey, we're 3-1, and we're starting an 8-game stretch in the ACC, and it looks like every week anybody can win in that league. You know, if you look at some of the conference games that have already been played, so we're excited.
Any update you can give on LJ?
Yeah, I can't confirm it. What I was told during the game is I think they diagnosed him with what they thought was a concussion, but that's not been confirmed to me post-game. I have not seen him, so as far as I know, he's okay, but I don't know the extent of it.
Thoughts on Sonny's kind of ejection and what you saw there, what you thought about?
Yeah, I mean, I know he was upset that the kick return got called back. Now they tackled Smoke, so I'm glad they called it. But I mean, I'd probably be fighting for our team too. So like whatever. And so I don't know what he did or said, and then I don't know why he got the second one. And you know, that's unfortunate. He's over there competing, fighting for his team. He just wants to win. So I don't know. I have no clue.
What are your biggest focus areas going into ACC play?
You know, I think just offensively, we want to continue to evolve with our identity. You know, I think you saw today we're going to have good balance. Again, we ended up running it a little more today, but we really felt like 2 weeks ago, we felt like this was a defense that was really athletic and loved to rush the passer, but didn't love people to run right at them. And so we kind of already thought that was the best plan, is to run right at them and get the ball on the perimeter, and hopefully that would bring them up where you throw it over their head. They just never came up. But and then we watched the UCF game, and that kind of gave you some validity to that if you just stay with it. And so our goal was to have 40-plus runs, and we did. So I think on defense, you know, we're stopping the run really well, which I don't know if it's a concern, but that's the number one thing we have to do in a power conference, is you have to be able to stop the run. Look at our bowl game a year ago, look at our game against these guys a year ago, and then look at our game tonight. And so, you know, when they have 32 carries for 65 yards, you can let somebody throw for 400 yards and lose. I mean, my first year here, we threw for 400 yards a couple times and lost, right? So you have to be able to control the game. So if we can stop the run defensively and swarm, and, you know, I know Coach Simons is upset with some of the explosives we gave up late. That's been something we've been good at. We've got to limit that and make people drive. And then on teams, I think we've been very improved on teams. I know with the snap in game 1, the ball bouncing off across the last game, and a couple holding penalties, I hadn't felt that way, but we've been pretty good. So it's good to see, you know, Roderick make that play tonight. So if we can just keep getting better in those areas, I mean, we got to be balanced on offense and keep that as our identity and value the football. We got to continue to stop the run on defense, limit explosive plays, and then do what we're doing on teams. And I like our chances to keep getting better.
What's the key to improving on special teams been for you guys? Look at things, you know, sort of changing things up in the offseason. I know personnel can change year to year, of course.
Yeah, I think roster depth, and we're playing our best players on teams. Like, and having as many older guys as we do, they bought into understanding that, like, if you want to go play in the NFL, take Trevor Dimbo, for example. I think he just got a new deal. He's making almost $1 million a year to play special teams, undrafted. Like, so whether you get drafted and you want to enhance your draft status or make it, that matters. So they bought into, man, I need film, because when the scouts, you know, there's 5 or 6 scouts that practice every Tuesday and Wednesday. And if one of those guys isn't on teams, they're going to ask us, why are they not on teams? And so they bought into it. I thought we had a really good fall camp. We did a lot of good on good. Like we would go our one punt versus our one punt return. And we have the depth to have a one punt that doesn't have anybody that's on our one punt return. That's rare. So I think Coach Cooper has done a really good job, Coach Horney and our whole staff coaching them. But our guys have bought into it, and I think the depth is a big reason.
Coach, what has Rashard brought to the team, not just tonight, but really since he came to campus?
I mean, he's a playmaker. He had 4 touchdowns. Brad told me that's the most we've had in a game here since like 2017 for a player. You know, he can run the ball, he can clearly catch the ball, he can return the ball, he can take a direct snap. We've not let him throw it yet. But, you know, he's just, especially at the running back position, the best ones, it's almost like they get one. And what I mean by that, there's one guy that they make miss on their runs because the O-line can only block it so well. There's always going to be an extra guy. Where is he? And he does a really good job of setting it up with his vision, but just his versatility. He can do it all. He can run it. He can catch it. He can return it. And so I think it's given us a really explosive playmaker in the backfield we didn't have the first couple of years.
After what you saw from him in the first 3 weeks, was there a concerted effort to get him even more involved this week, especially kind of talking with what you could do in the run game?
Yeah, I mean, we also thought LJ, I mean, like I said, 5 for 36 is pretty good. He was averaging 7 yards a carry. LJ and Rashard averaged both 7 yards a carry. That's impressive. You know, so our line and our tight ends deserve a lot of credit, but, you know, 18 to 20 carries is probably going to be, I mean, hopefully he can endure that for 8 more weeks. But, you know, whether it's LJ, whether it's McFall, whether it's Junior, or even Kevin at times, like, we're going to have to take some off of him because every game he's tired at the end of the game. But I think he enjoys, you know, getting those opportunities. So, yeah, we also felt like, you know, he never really played full-time running back, so working him up to this point is kind of where we want to get.
What do you think was the difference in Kevin this week? Because it felt like the last 2 years, maybe the game was too big or there's a lot of emotions involved. What do you think was different this week?
You know, that's a great question. I think you're right. You know, I think 2 years ago it was a big game for our players, our fan base, and everybody. So I do think we were emotional about it. And we didn't play well early. Then we came all the way back and lost by a touchdown. Last year, I think we all wanted it too much. And I think I probably went to blame for all that. I made, hey, this is a rivalry game. This is about the Skillet. It's TCU, SMU. It's Fort Worth, Dallas, blah, 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 blah. And, well, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I've been in the Iron Bowl rivalries. I've been in the Florida State Miami games. And trust me, if we were at Miami, they played the Tomahawk Chop song all during the week at practice. You know, you were sick of it. And, you know, and same thing when you're in Auburn, Alabama, and it wasn't an issue. But I do think that was a little bit of, at least it felt like last year I felt like we pressed. I felt like we really pressed and didn't play very well. Because when you're emotional instead of passionate, there's a difference. You would play with passion, you're in control. When you play emotional, you're not in control. And what it does is it slows you down. Your reaction time slows down. You don't play as fast as your ability allows you to. You make silly mistakes. You know, you hit people when you shouldn't and that kind of stuff. But when you're passionate, this is a game of passion and intensity now, but you're in control. And there's a fine line. And so that's why we didn't talk about them at all this week. We didn't play their fight song in warm-ups. We didn't do any of that. And it's not that we didn't respect them or think it was a big game. It just, we wanted to focus on controlling us because we felt like we had a good enough football team that if we did, we would win the game.
What's Kevin been like throughout the last 2 weeks, and then during the game, again, the fumble, it's kind of almost mirror image of the Tulane game.
Well, the difference, the Tulane game wasn't his fault.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah, no, he's been great. I mean, sometimes I'm like, are you there? I want to see the passion, if you will. But no, he's been steady, you know, and like I said, it's going to get harder and harder. But hopefully he'll get better and better. And you know, he got an earful from me after that fumble, and he responded pretty well. So, and I thought he would. And, you know, Preston Stone's a winner, guys. Like, he handled the last 15 days like a true champion. And it's probably the hardest 2-week stretch he's had to go through. So I'm really proud of him, too, because him being the team guy and the leader he is a big reason we had the success we did tonight.